The ultimate goal is to get to Loch Ness in Scotland, catch the Loch Ness monster named Nessie, and bring her back to the States to make some nice low and slow barbecue. I only have 6 weeks to do this in because I have to be in the Netherlands by the beginning of July to pick up new crew. After months of planning and years of dreaming, we're finally casting off the lines to begin our trip around the entire United Kingdom. Our first passage isn't just about the miles, though. It's a pilgrimage. It's a voyage of about 60 nautical miles from the ancient port of Ipswich to the hallowed harbor of Ramsgate. We're on a quest to touch a piece of living history before our grand adventure truly begins. The forecast is looking interesting. The Thames estuary is a complex piece of water full of shifting sandbanks, busy shipping lanes, and seriously powerful tides. It doesn't forgive mistakes, but our Elling E4 is ready, and so are we. This is it, the first leg. Our circumnavigation of the UK starts now. The early morning light is just creeping over the forest of boats here in Ipswich Haven Marina. There's that unique stillness you only get on a boat before a long passage, a quiet mix of excitement and nerves. For centuries, this river, the Orwell, has been a gateway to the North Sea. Ipswich is one of England's oldest towns, a place where trade flourished as far back as the 7th century. You can feel that history in the air, a legacy of sailors who have all set off from this very spot, pointing towards adventure. Before we can join them, there are the final, crucial checks. Engine oil, coolant, the bilge. Everything gets one last look. The passage plan is set. We have to navigate the notorious Thames estuary, a puzzle of sandbanks with names like the Long Sand and the Kentish Knock, all crisscrossed by the main shipping channels for London. The real challenge is timing our departure perfectly to get the outbound tide to sweep us down the Orwell, and then timing our arrival at North Foreland to avoid the infamous tidal rips that guard the entrance to Ramsgate. Our plan is to leave with the last of the ebb tide for a good push. We'll be sharing the water with everything from small fishing boats to colossal container ships heading for Felixstowe. It demands constant vigilance, one hand for the boat, one eye on the chart plotter, and another on the horizon. The weather looks fair for now, with a steady northwest breeze predicted, which should give us a comfortable run south. But the estuary is known for kicking up a nasty chop when the wind turns against the tide. With the final check done, it's time. The lines are slipped. With a gentle nudge from the engine, we're off. As we motor slowly down the Orwell, the magnificent Orwell Bridge feels monumental. We're finally on our way. Leaving the shelter of Harwich Harbor, the open sea greets us with a fresh intensity. The wind is a brisk force 4, just as promised. This is the moment everything comes alive. There's no feeling quite like it. Our course is southeast, threading a needle between the coast and the offshore sandbanks. The first big challenge appears on the horizon faster than you'd think. The shipping lane. On the screen, it's a constant parade of giant icons, tankers, container ships, ferries, all moving way faster than us. You feel very small out here. Our strategy is to hold our course, maintain a steady speed, and make our intentions clear. It's a bit like a game of chicken, but with very high stakes. We get on the radio to one large container ship just to confirm we see each other, and that brief professional exchange is a world of reassurance. The trick to crossing the estuary is to accept you can't have a favorable tide for the whole trip. You have to pick your battles. Our battle is to get across the main sandbanks while we have enough water, and then punch through the last of the adverse tide as we approach the Kent coast. As we pass the midway point, navigating through a gap in the London Array wind farm, the scale of the turbines is just mind-boggling. It's a surreal, silent forest of steel rising from the sea. With the boat on autopilot and the sun breaking through, things are calm for a moment. What a day for a trip. It's moments like this that make all the planning worth it. If you're enjoying the journey and want to see where we end up next, do us a huge favor. Give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing, but it makes a massive difference for us and means you won't miss the next leg of the adventure. And right on cue, the tide turns against us, our speed plummets, and the sea state changes instantly. The wind, now blowing against the current, creates a short, steep chop that makes the ride pretty uncomfortable. This is the famous wind over tide phenomenon the pilot books warn you about, sending spray across the deck. It's a real slog. The boat handles it perfectly, but it's tiring, and you have to stay focused. After what feels like an eternity, a new landmark appears, the white chalk cliffs of Kent. North Foreland. We're almost there. But this is also where the most notorious tidal streams are. You can literally see the rip currents boiling on the surface. We give the headland a wide berth before making our final turn towards Ramsgate. And then we see it, the two enormous protective arms of Ramsgate's harbor walls. But as we get closer, I called ahead for a slip assignment and was surprised to hear that they did not have a slip available for Sea Otter. The harbor master told us that the 85th anniversary return of the Dunkirk Little Ships Festival is underway. With sunset approaching, we have to think fast. We divert course and push on to Dover, 15 nautical miles southwest of Ramsgate. It's a moment of disappointment, but also excitement. We've stumbled into a piece of living history by accident. Ramsgate is the only royal harbor in the UK, an honor granted by King George IV in 1821. Designated a National Heritage Harbor in 2024. For centuries, it's been a refuge. And while it couldn't be for us tonight, our quest isn't over. After a long day, we finally tie up in Dover. We've made it. But the mission has changed. The next morning, we set out on a new mission. We left the boat secure in its slip at Dover and took a short train ride back to Ramsgate. We had to see the festival. During Operation Dynamo in 1940, Ramsgate was the heart of the operation, where many of the roughly 850 private boats that sailed from the UK were gathered to rescue over 338,000 Allied soldiers from Dunkirk. They were fishing boats, yachts, and pleasure steamers, ordinary vessels crewed by ordinary people who answered the call. It's one thing to read about it, but is another thing entirely to see the vessels that were actually there. These aren't just boats, they are living monuments. It's incredible to think that in May of this year, 2025, a fleet of over 70 of these vessels gathered right here to commemorate the 85th anniversary of Operation Dynamo. We spend the rest of the day exploring Ramsgate's maritime heritage, from the historic clock house to the sailors' church. The town feels like a museum, with every street telling a story of the sea. This journey was never just about going from A to B. It was about connecting with history. Standing on the quay where thousands of exhausted soldiers set foot on British soil, you understand the true meaning of the Dunkirk spirit. Back on board in Dover, with the lights of the port twinkling around us, it's time to reflect. Our first passage is done. We faced the challenges of the Thames estuary, and our plans were completely upended, but we were rewarded with an experience that will stay with us forever. We came looking for a quiet harbor, but instead found a powerful connection to a moment in history that defines courage and resilience. Ramsgate and our surprise change of plans have been the perfect, unpredictable start to our circumnavigation, a place that reminds us why Britain's maritime heritage is so special. But the journey is far from over. Join us next time as we head to the port of Southampton, one of Britain's most storied harbors. From the days of the Titanic to today's massive cruise liners, Southampton has been the gateway between Britain and the world. We'll explore its rich maritime history, the ships that sailed from here, and why it remains one of the busiest and most important ports in the United Kingdom. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.